also going well. So last day we completed the topic of periodic table. We had an overview of it. We discussed the important competency questions and even the past year questions. For today, we will be starting with chemical bonding. And along with chemical bonding, we will also be discussing acids, bases, and salts. The reason is because chemical bonding, say you do not get many questions. So it would be a little bit difficult to find so many questions from chemical bonding for us. Also, we have studied chemical bonding in grade 9. So that is like a strong point for us. Acid, base, and salt we are studying here. So that is what, we studied in grade 10. So that is what we will be discussing in detail along with bonding side by side. It will go together. Hi. Let's begin. Okay, so what we will do is very quickly we will see all the important topics. This is your scope of syllabus as given by your ICSE board. So pehle you have been told to study about the electrovalent bonding. I hope you know electrovalent and ionic same. I'm sure abhi tak you know, and about the covalent bond as well. And there are some important compounds mentioned like sodium chloride, magnesium chloride, calcium oxide. Then you are having the compounds of nitrogen, water, you are having ammonia, CCl4, all of these you do get to draw in your examination in some or the other exam, like in some or the other year. Coordinate bonding, we will need to know the definition of it. Ammonium ion is a favorite of ICSE board to tell you people to draw. तो ये तो important है. Along with that, hydroxide ion also. Hydroxide उतना ज़्यादा repeat नहीं हुआ. It has not been asked many times. But today when we will discuss the year questions, you will see this also has been a part of your question. From acid, base and salt, the topics jahan se maximum question repeat hote hain, we will try to focus on those. Definition of acid and base is not a good choice for the board, but yes, asking about acid salt, basic salt, not like your normal salt, ye board likes to give you questions from here. Apart from that, you also get questions about the formation of salts. Formation of salt बहुत important topic है. You can expect a question in your board exam of 2025 from formation of salt. pH से भी ज़्यादा board likes to give you question from formation of salt. Okay, chalo. So very quickly we will have an overview of chemical bonding acids, and then what we are doing is just एक बार you should know what we will discuss. We'll discuss competency based questions given by our board, and we will also discuss this like specimen paper given for us. After that, we will be discussing past 5 years questions as well, apart from competency and specimen. So speaking about the type of bonding, when we speak about the chemical bond, you can have either ionic bond, covalent bond, or you can have coordinate bond. Ionic bond is the one which is formed by transfer of electrons. Covalent will be having sharing of electrons. For coordinate, there is one very important thing you have to remember. There will be one donor and one acceptor. Speaking about the donor, lone pair of electron has to be present over there. We will see the examples of these and diagrams of these while we discuss the year questions. Ionic compound ke properties say you do get questions, and even from the properties of covalent bonds. Over here in the slides, you only have the topics from where questions are being repeated. Apart from that, when you look at the chapter, it's a vast syllabus. You have many topics over there, but only the ones which are being repeated, we will be discussing. Ionization, like when we speak about the ionic compounds and covalent compounds, ionic compounds do dissociate into water to form ions, but covalent may only the polar ones will do so. Speaking about the ionic one, they are more quick, but covalent slower, like formation reaction rate. They do conduct electricity in molten and aqueous state. You have questions in your examination twice that why not in solid state. We'll discuss with the questions only. Soluble in water, high melting boiling point, solid in state. Covalent compounds, soluble in organic solvents, low melting and boiling point. When we speak about the types of covalent bonding, single, double and triple is there. Nitrogen will go for triple bond, hydrogen single bond, ammonia has 3 single bonds, CCl4 has 4 single bonds, water has two single covalent bonds, and carbon dioxide has a double covalent bond. These compounds, the names I have written over here on the screen because it has been mentioned in your scope of syllabus. Any term or anything mentioned in scope of syllabus becomes very important for you. In covalent compounds, you also have to know about the polar and the non-polar ones. Polar, non-polar, say you get questions from MCQ type, okay? So the ones which will fall non-polar compounds will be the covalent compounds where you are having exactly same type of molecules. Simple tug of war consider kar lo, when you have exactly same type of molecules participating, there is no mismatch in sharing of electrons, but when there are different kinds of particle like different atoms participating, or when there is a difference in electronegativity, then there is not equal sharing of electron going on, which leads to the formation of polar covalent compounds. In polar covalent compounds, you write delta positive and delta negative charges. The electropositive one is delta positive. Speaking about this thing, yes, once you had a case based type of question or a long question using the topic of ionization energy and electron affinity from bonding. So remember, when there is a huge difference, now metals are the ones which like to lose electron very easily, so ionization energy is low. Non-metals like to take electrons very easily, so electron affinity is high. So ionic compound will be formed with elements with low ionization energy, high electron affinity. Speaking about the covalent compounds, when suppose both have high electron affinity, then they go for covalent compounds. And also when there's a difference in electronegativity, then polar. If there's no difference in electronegativity, that goes for non-polar. Speaking about the coordinate compounds, lone pair is important. And when suppose there is one element or one ion which is coming and just using those two electrons, that will be a covalent, that will be a coordinate bond formed. For coordinate bond, lone pair compulsory. Hydronium, ammonium, and hydroxide. This is what you have in syllabus. This will be the electron dot structure for hydronium. This is for ammonium. Remember, in ammonium, you are having 3 covalent bonds and 1 coordinate bond. For hydronium, you have 2 covalent and 1 coordinate bond. Hydroxide ions structure has been asked once in your board exam. This is your OH minus structure. Speaking about the acids, bases, and salt, acids are the ones which will produce hydrogen ions. Those hydrogen ions will combine with water to form hydronium. Bases generally form hydroxide. When we speak about this specific chart, what is very important from your board exams point of view is litmus, phenolphthalein, methyl orange. You generally do not get questions from turmeric, China rose pretty often. Litmus will be having red color in acid, blue in bases. Phenolphthalein colorless in acid, pink in base. Methyl orange is very important. Orange in normal state and red in acid, yellow in case of bases. The reactions of metals, we will see many of these while we'll be discussing the questions, but these are the overall reactions. Metals react with acids to form salt and hydrogen. With bases, not all. Only zinc, aluminium, and lead. Zinc and aluminium, and the bases which you will be using will be sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide. Carbonates and bicarbonates, salt water CO2 with acid. Sulfite, bisulfite, salt water SO2 with acid. This is important. You very often get questions from the sulfite. When we speak about sulfides and chlorides, you will get their respective hydrogen compounds, that is H2S, HCl. Acid rain is not a very good choice for the board exam nowadays, but remember that oxides of sulfur and nitrogen, when they mix with water, they form acids. Speaking about carbon, it anyways is present in the rainwater. From pH, yes, you do get questions. Speaking about the pH scale, it ranges from 0 till 14. This is your pH scale. And when we speak about this, 7 is going to be neutral and 0 is the strongest acid, 14 is the strongest of the base. For the bases which are soluble in water, we call them to be as alkalis. And less than 7, any pH value which is less than 7 will be acidic, and pH value more than 7 will be basic. Remember, the term this pH will go inversely to that of the hydrogen ion concentration. Acid, normal, and basic salt is very important for your board exam. You get questions from here. Acid salt will be the one which will form by partial removal of hydrogen from any acid, from your acid. Now, when suppose you have sulfuric acid, here you have 2 hydrogens. So these sulfates, these bisulfates form. These are going to form your acid salt. Normal salt will be complete removal, and basic salt will be when any OH is left in your salt. You get definitions from here, you get examples from here, so mark this topic to be important for your upcoming board exam. Method of preparation of salt is very important. At least one question you are getting from these two slides. Speaking about the combination one, sodium chloride is not a good choice. Again, ferric chloride, the board loves to ask this question to you people from here, that when iron is combining with chlorine, you are getting ferric chloride. This is very important. You will see the repetition and you also will understand. Displacement reaction, when you are having metal and acid over here. Decomposition reaction means these carbonates or bicarbonates are breaking to give you their gases along with salt and water. Neutralization, simple acid and base reaction, alkali all metal, we have discussed this. Direct combination for insoluble salt will be your lead sulfide, acid and basic, as in oxides of non-metals, they are acidic, oxides of base of metals, they are basic. So this is an example of that. Double decomposition, this is also an example. In board exam, once it was asked by using the term precipitation reaction. Okay, next is about the insoluble salts. You're having your lead nitrate. So this double decomposition in your board exam can also be asked in the term of precipitation reaction, because it was asked once in your board exam. Okay, so let's get started with the questions now. Speaking about the questions to discuss, first we'll discuss the specimen question paper which has been given for you people for this specific year. This specimen question paper over here, you are having the equation given below, the reaction between element X and dilute sulfuric acid. X, H2SO4, XSO4 and hydrogen, which means this X is any metal which is present above hydrogen in the metal activity series. Which particles are responsible for conducting electricity in dilute sulfuric acid and the compound X? So when we speak about these acids, acids dissociate in presence of water to form H plus or hydronium ion, and this will be forming sulfate ion, right? So you have both positive and negative particles. Speaking about this salt, let's consider the example of zinc sulfate, because zinc and sulfuric acid is a common thing which you study. So here as well you will be having zinc ion and sulfate ion. So the point is that both positive and negative ions will be present in both of these. So the answer will be option number D. Moving towards the next one. When which of the following about the oxide is correct? A basic oxide is an oxide of non-metal? No. Oxides of non-metals like sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, these are acidic. Acidic oxides contain ionic bond. Look at these. Don't you think they are all having covalent bonds? So no. Amphoteric oxide contains metal? Yes. Amphoteric oxides as in Al2O3, ZNO or even lead oxide, they are having metals into it. Basic oxides are always gases? No. Sodium oxide is basic, calcium oxide is basic, but are they gases? No, they are solids. Next question. Dash does not form acid salt. Acid salt, I'm telling you like n number of times. Acid, normal, basic salt. Learn this. Learn this up. Even if you have not studied acid base salt very well till now, ye part ko padh lo, it is very important. You are getting questions from here. When we speak about sulfuric acid as in H2SO4, you have two hydrogen, which means replacing one and letting one remain over there is possible. HCl has only one, so it does not have the possibility of forming acid salt. So your answer will be does not form acid salt. It is going to be hydrochloric acid. And what was acid salt? The salt formed by partial removal of hydrogen ion. And dash solution will turn methyl orange, pink or red. Methyl orange, as we had discussed, we had considered this methyl orange and phenolphthalein to be important. Methyl orange itself is orange. In case of base, it is yellow. In case of acid, it is red or pink. So acidic solution will turn it red or pink. A bond formed between two atoms by sharing of a pair of electrons, with both electrons being provided by same atom. This is an example of your coordinate bonding. Why? When you look at the examples of ammonium or hydronium, then both the electrons being shared in this case is being provided by oxygen itself. Hydrogen ion had nothing to participate over there. So the answer for this is coordinate bond. A salt formed by complete neutralization of acid and base, this will be a normal salt. So in your specimen paper for board exam, as in what board is telling you people to study before your exam, acid and normal salt is very clearly given for you people. Okay, moving to the next question. Identify the reactant and write the balanced chemical equation. Nitric acid reacts with compound Q to give salt, calcium nitrate, water, and carbon dioxide. When you speak about a compound Q which can react to form salt, water, and CO2, then this compound has to be a carbonate or bicarbonate. When we speak about this carbonate or bicarbonate, it has to have calcium into it. So it is going to be either calcium carbonate or calcium bicarbonate, anything you can write. Moving to the next question. You are provided with list of chemicals mentioned below. Using suitable reactions from the list given, write balanced chemical equation for the preparation of salt. Preparation of salt is another important topic for you people. The first one is copper sulfate. Now see, you can think that okay, I can take copper and react it with sulfuric acid and perform a displacement reaction like we were discussing for zinc. But do you think copper will be able to displace hydrogen from acid? No. So we will not use copper over here. Like this copper and CuCO3 was written over there because very often I see students choosing copper and sulfuric acid here. So since it is a sulfate, I have to choose sulfuric acid, but along with that, I need something made up of copper. So here it is going to be copper carbonate. Okay. So the reaction which you will write will be, you will be having copper carbonate reacting with sulfuric acid. You will be getting copper sulfate. Along with that, you will get carbon dioxide and water. Okay, next is sodium zincate. So sodium zincate, you know, zinc and sodium hydroxide is going to form it. So Zn plus NaOH will be forming Na2, ZnO2 along with hydrogen. Please remember that if it is zinc oxide, then you will be forming water. And if it is zinc, then you will be forming only hydrogen. This is a silly mistake which you people make often. Remember that. Ferric chloride. Like if you remember, I had told you while discussing this that ferric chloride is one of the board's favorite questions. You will see it in specimen paper for your year. You will see it later in many year questions also. So it's favorite for you people. Okay. So moving towards the question where we were, that is, one second. I lost the question. Yeah. We have discussed all of these. No, we have not. Found it. So for ferric chloride, you will be reacting chlorine and iron, and this is an important question I'm telling you many times. Acid salt, normal salt, basic salt, and this preparation of salt, very important. So you will be having Fe plus Cl2 arrow FeCl3. To balance, you will be putting 2 for iron and 3 for chlorine. Moving towards the next one, Rohit has solutions XYZ that has pH 2, 7 and 13 respectively. 2 is going to be acidic, 7 is going to be neutral, and 13 is going to be basic. What will liberate sulfur dioxide gas when you're heating it with sodium sulfite? If you remember, when we were discussing these chemical reactions, then we said that carbonates and bicarbonates, sulfite and bisulfite, they react with acids to form salt water and their respective oxides. Okay, so this was marked very important for you. Okay, moving towards the question which we were discussing. It's there in your specimen paper, in your what board is expecting you people to learn. So the one which will give sulfur dioxide, you can have sodium sulfite. Along with that, you can choose any of the acids. You will be getting chloride water and SO2. Will liberate ammonia gas when you're reacting it with ammonium chloride. So this again is present in your book where you are having sodium chloride water and ammonia being formed. You have it with the name of reaction with alkali. Next is will not have any effect on litmus. So a neutral solution will have no effect on litmus. So the one which is having a pH value of 7, that is solution Y. When you write the answer of these questions, you will be writing this as Y. When you write the answers of these, you will be writing in form of X, Y, and Z. So for the first one, it will be X. For this one, it's going to be Z, and this is going to be Y. You will not write the value of pH as your answer. Draw the electron dot diagram for ammonium. This is a very common question. You will see it a lot in your revision for board exam ka questions when we will do today itself. So for ammonium, it's ammonia and H plus ion. Do you need to draw this as well? No. What you need to draw, we'll draw now. So you will draw nitrogen, then you will be drawing these hydrogens which are present via covalent bond. Since it is a covalent bond, hence you can see the difference in the electrons. This hydrogen came and joined via coordinate bond, and overall 1 plus you will write. This is what you are going to do. The earlier one is not required. Now, before competency-based questions, we can do one thing. We can first discuss the year questions. So speaking about the question which came in the year 2024, the metal hydroxide which reacts with both acids and alkali to form salt and water. So something which is reacting with both acid and alkali has to be the amphoteric one. So aluminium. In the molecule of water, oxygen atom has, when we speak about water, let's draw the diagram because we had not done by revision. Oxygen is having a total of 6 electrons in the last shell. It combines with 2 hydrogens, and this is how the electron dot structure will be. You can either draw dots for both, or if you want, you can put crosses as well over here. That's your choice. So over here you have 2 lone pairs of electrons which you can very clearly see. So these circled ones, these are the lone pairs of electrons. Match the following, column A with B. Water. So water is a covalent compound. Alkali metal, lithium is an alkali metal. Halogen, iodine is a halogen. Calcium oxide, this calcium oxide is an ionic compound. A weak acid is acetic acid. Nowadays, it's common for you people to match the following in such a way that you have one option extra in the right hand side. Choose wisely. The salt that can be prepared by direct combination. I know I'm tired of you will feel that she's saying the same thing again and again. But you can see it was there in 24. It was there in your specimen paper. You will see it again in the upcoming years when we will see. So FeCl3, you are learning the reaction and you're going. Next, when we speak about Mohan has 3 solutions PQR having a pH of 13, 5 and 2 respectively. Which of the following solution is P, Q or R? So when we speak about these respective pH, for P it's 13, for Q it is 5 और R के लिए it is 2. Which of the following will react with magnesium to liberate hydrogen gas? Acids react with magnesium to form hydrogen, so R should do so. Will liberate ammonia gas when it reacts with ammonium chloride. Will contain both molecule as well as ions. Speaking about weak acids are the ones, or even weak bases, they contain both molecules and ions. So here will be the pH 5 as in solution 2, solution Q, and this is going to be the ammonium ones obviously are basic, so this is going to be P. Speaking about this Q, once we will very quickly understand this as well. Acetic acid CH3COOH. When this dissociates, you get acetate ion. Along with this, you get hydrogen ion. But it's not all 100%. If you are taking 100 molecules, you are getting barely 30 or even less than 30 of these ions. But the rest 70 is deciding to stay like this molecule. So in the mixture, you are having ions and molecules both. This is important. Next is define the following term: molar volume, normal salt. Molar volume we'll see with mole concept, normal salt important. So normal salt will be the salt formed by complete removal of hydrogen ions from the acid by a metallic ion or ammonium ion. Complete the balanced equation. Al2O3 and NaOH is going to form NaAlO2. The name of this is going to be sodium aluminate. Along with this, not hydrogen but water. Had it been aluminium only, you would be writing hydrogen. Okay, now since it's Al2O3, you will be putting 2 over here, and to balance the sodium, 2 here as well. The oxygen seems to be 3 and 2, and here is 4 and 1, 5, which is balanced. Moving to the next one. Give reason for the following. Inert gases do not form ions. We have discussed yesterday. Covalent compounds have a low melting and boiling point. If you remember, I told you people that the properties of ionic and covalent compound is important. So covalent compounds have a low melting and boiling point because these have a less force of attraction between the particles. You don't have opposite ions existing here, okay? So you have to say that the particles have very less force of attraction amongst themselves, hence it's easier to melt or to boil. Hence they have low melting or boiling point. The next one is sulfuric acid, phosphoric acid, acetic acid, increasing order of number of replaceable hydrogen ions. Acetic acid has only one replaceable hydrogen ion. Sulfuric acid has two replaceable hydrogen ion, and phosphoric acid has three. When you will write the order, you will not write the formulas. Like me, you will be writing the names over there. I've written the formulas so that it will be quick. Carbon tetrachloride, this CCl4, this is going to be a non-polar one, very important. Why? That is because when we see the structure of carbon tetrachloride, then in this case you are having all four chlorine atoms present at equal distance and opposite angle. So they are all trying to pull by equal force. Okay? Hi, Mowgli. Hi. Good evening. So when you see this specific carbon atom and this chlorine atom, all the chlorine particles are trying to pull the electrons from carbon with equal force, but they are all in opposite direction. So equal but opposite direction, hence they are cancelling each other's force. Hence your answer for this is going to be non-polar. Okay, so for carbon tetrachloride, you are going to choose it to be non-polar. Next is match the following. As told you just 2 minutes earlier, match the following is common, where you will have one extra option on the right hand side. So, suitable method of preparation. You are having zinc chloride from zinc. So, this is going to be formed via a displacement reaction, where if you have zinc and HCl, you will get that. Potassium nitrate from potassium hydroxide. If you have a base, then you need to put nitric acid. That is going to be formed by a neutralization reaction. Calcium carbonate from calcium chloride. This is going to be via a precipitation reaction, not direct combination. And speaking of direct combination, always remember FeCl3's example. They will often give you this question. Moving towards the question of the year 2023, the acid which does not form acid salt. Speaking about acid salt, they are the ones which should have extra hydrogen ions in them apart from one, so that incomplete ionization will occur. So here acetic acid will be the answer because it has only one hydrogen, one dissociable or one ionizable hydrogen. The indicator which changes to pink color in alkaline solution, that is phenolphthalein. In alkaline solution, blue litmus will show no change, red litmus turns blue, methyl orange turns yellow. Non-polar covalent compounds are non-polar ones, which means they are not even splitting up into ions in water. So they are bad conductors of heat and electricity. Examples of non-polar covalent compounds are chlorine, hydrogen, CCl4, CH4. These are all non-polar. On the other hand, the polar compounds like HCl and the others, they will split up. Okay. CBSE, yes, only acid based salt का जो part है वो आपके काम में आएगा, जैसे ये pH and all related. एक दो questions will be there from covalent bond and ionic bond, which again I feel will be required for you. So हाँ, आज का दोनों topic आपके syllabus में है. Last day the CBSE students which had joined in periodic table, I had very clearly said don't join. But today, yes, it is a part of your syllabus. So hydrogen and chlorine over here, when you see it is a polar covalent compound, it will split up to form H plus and Cl minus in water. So polar covalent compounds can conduct electricity. Higher the pH value of solution, the more what nature? More is the pH value, more will be the alkaline nature of this specific compound. A type of salt formed by partial replacement of hydroxy with an acid. So this is going to be basic salt. Next is complete and balance the equation. You're having ammonium chloride and calcium hydroxide. So you will just remove the ions, or you will just displace the ions, you'll get calcium chloride and ammonium hydroxide. When you speak about copper sulfate and ammonium hydroxide, speaking about these two questions, we will discuss about this once more tomorrow. So let's quickly finish what we have today first. Draw the electron dot structure for ammonium. So ammonium ion is going to have a covalent compounds. CBSE classes Sunday, Nilesh. Sunday ko all the important topics in your syllabus and along with the keywords which are there for those important topics. Sunday ko. Ammonium ions electron dot structure we have discussed today itself. आज ही we have drawn this ammonium ion का structure, so I am skipping, but yes, very quickly एक बार इसको भी discuss कर ही लेते हैं since it's here. So nitrogen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all of these are hydrogen, and this as well. Make sure that you just make crosses over here so that it symbolizes that the other hydrogens brought one electron and one plus over here. Done. A molecule of nitrogen. For a molecule of nitrogen, when you're drawing electron dots, some ICSE students, you all are used to seeing orbital structures. The nitrogen molecule mein you are having 3 electrons from one side, 3 electrons from the other side, and 2 electrons will remain separate for them. If you want, you can draw these circles. If you don't want, you can skip drawing these circles as well. No issue. Choose the substance given in the box below to answer the following question. The metal which will not produce hydrogen gas when reacted with dilute acid. Yes, I too. I'm working on that. Very soon it will be there. So the metal which will not produce hydrogen gas when reacted with dilute acid will be copper, because speaking about iron, lead and zinc, they are above hydrogen. They can do so. The compound that will produce sulfur dioxide gas when reacted with HCl will be a sulfite or bisulfite. So here you have sodium sulfite, or you're having magnesium sulfite. So you can choose magnesium sulfite or sodium sulfite over here. Next is the solution of the compound produces dirty green precipitate. This we are discussing next day when we are speaking about the analytical chemistry. Give reason for the following. Ionization potential, it decreases. We've discussed yesterday already, periodic table mein ho gaya. Ionic compounds do not conduct electricity in solid state. Very important question. Speaking about this specific answer, you have to mention that the ions are present. They are in a rigid structure. The ions are tightly held together. Hence, they are not free to move. So mentioning about immobile or not free to move is very important. Solid sodium chloride does not conduct electricity. Why? I think just the last question which we were discussing, that is because it does not contain free ions. That's why. Ions are there, but it's not free. Next is the salt formed by incomplete neutralization of acid and base. A normal salt has complete neutralization. Complex salt is can be incomplete neutralization of acid by a base. So that's going to be acid salt, because acid's ion has been left over there. Which of the following compound neither dissociate, no, by the way, complex double and these salts are not a part of your syllabus for this year. Which of the following compounds neither dissociate nor ionize in water? Speaking about carbon tetrachloride, this is a non-polar compound. So it is not forming any ions like carbon or chloride. Nothing will be done. So this will be the answer. Here you will get potassium and nitrate ions. Here you will get sodium ion and hydroxide ion. And here you are getting hydronium as an H plus aqueous and chloride ion. Moving to the next one. No free ion, yes. Which of the following has two sets of lone pair of electron in them? So when you speak about ammonium, nothing is left. Methane, it's all the electrons are occupied. In water, yes. Ammonium ion, no. Ammonia has one, but ammonium has none. So water will be your answer. Aji, we have drawn the structure of water where you were having oxygen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 2 hydrogen over here. So these two lone pairs were present. Which of the following is tribasic acid? Using the term, it is used in bromine water test. Bromine water test mein to which one? Bromine water test mein you were having double bonded compounds, na? Alkenes के लिए था bromine water test या फिर alkynes के लिए. The color will decolorize, but when it is in alkanes, it's remaining as it is. Which of the following is tribasic acid? Tribasic acid is the one which contains 3 hydrogen ions, so your answer is going to be C. Moving to the next one, which is the correct statement about conduction of electricity. Electricity is conducted in aqueous solution by electrons. No. In metals, you have electrons which conduct electricity. Electricity is conducted in a metal wire by iron. No. In aqueous solution, ions. In metals, electrons. Electricity is conducted in a molten electrolyte by electrons. No. Electricity is conducted in acid by ions? Yes. For example, if it is HCl, then the hydronium ion and the chloride ion, they will migrate towards opposite electrodes and that will conduct electricity. Which electron arrangement for the outer shell of electron and covalent compound is correct? Hydrogen chloride, here hydrogen does not have 3 electrons, so wrong. Hydrogen cannot have so many electrons, wrong. When you speak about nitrogen, then you're having 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5 electrons. So this seems to be correct. In option D, you see only 3 electrons for nitrogen has been drawn, so this is wrong. Moving to the next question. The products formed when an acid reacts with base is, so when acids react with base, you will be getting salt and water. The type of reaction is neutralization reaction, which is also double displacement reaction. The type of bonding present in hydrogen chloride is covalent bonding. Speaking about the next one, the aqueous solution that contains both ions and molecule. Sulfuric acid, nitric acid, hydrochloric acid, all of these three are strong acid. Strong acid undergoes complete ionization. So yes, acetic acid will be the answer. You're correct. So acetic acid may what will happen is you are having molecules of acetic acid more than 70%. You are having acetate ions and you are having hydronium ions as well. So this will be your answer. The basic oxide, which is an alkali or which can form an alkali. Alkali is the base which can dissolve in water. So sodium oxide will be your answer. The rest of the oxides were not water soluble. If the pH of a solution is 2, then the solution is pH 2 means it is going to be a strong acid. Weak acids will have pH of more than 3. Strong alkalis will be having 13 to 14. Weak alkalis will be having that 10, 11, 12 zone. The acidity of ammonium hydroxide. Acidity of a base is the number of OH ions which is present. For ammonium hydroxide, you have one OH ion, so it's going to be, aluminium hydroxide, I read it wrong. For aluminium hydroxide, your acidity you are having, when you write the formula of aluminium hydroxide, AHOL whole thrice, so this is going to be 3 as your answer. Moving to the next one. Hydra acids are those acids which contain, hydra acids का example है HCl, or these are the ones, or HF and so on, which means you have only one non-metal and hydrogen. Okay, so hydrogen and a non-metal other than oxygen. This is hydra acid. When you speak of hydrogen, oxygen and non-metal, that becomes oxy acids. Okay, ICSE 2022 now. So a compound with low boiling point. Covalent compounds have low boiling point. Sodium chloride ionic, calcium chloride ionic, potassium chloride ionic. So carbon tetrachloride will be your answer. Give one word for the following. Chemical bond formed by a shared pair of electron. Each bonding atom contributes one. So here this is going to be covalent. Had it been that only one participating atom is contributing electron, then that would have been coordinate bond. A salt prepared by displacement reaction is ferric chloride FeCl3 was combination. Silver chloride was precipitation. So ferrous chloride will be your answer. Moving to the next one, draw the electron dot diagram for the following compounds, and it has been the diagram you have to draw. Speaking about calcium oxide, 2 electrons here. For oxygen, you have the other 6 electrons. Both of these will be transferred. So you will get calcium ion and you will be getting oxide ion. If you want, you can draw all the electrons similar as well. For chlorine molecule, one chlorine and the other chlorine, draw 2 electrons in the center. Done. For water, we have done twice today, but still 2 lone pairs and 2 covalent bonds with hydrogen. Done. Next is pH of acetic acid is greater than dilute sulfuric acid. So acetic acid contains low concentration of hydrogen ion. Please remember that pH goes inverse to that of hydrogen ion. Okay. Will we be given the atomic number of elements? No, Nilesh. You will not be given atomic numbers of elements. और तुम लोगों का जो एग्जाम में आता है फॉर CBSE, कैल्शियम ऑक्साइड तो आया भी था 2023 में ही आया था, एंड यू गेट मैग्नीशियम ऑक्साइड, मैग्नीशियम क्लोराइड एंड इलेक्ट्रॉन का, यू डोंट गेट एटॉमिक नंबर्स. So pH of acetic acid is more, which means hydrogen ion is less. Lower the hydrogen ion, higher the pH. Always remember. The indicator which does not change the color on passage of HCl gas. HCl gas is acidic. By the way, it is moist HCl gas. Dry acidic, like had it been dry one, then nothing would have changed. Okay. Now speaking about methyl orange, it turns red in case of acid. Blue litmus paper will turn red, but phenolphthalein, which is colorless, remains colorless when you're passing acidic things. So phenolphthalein will be the answer for this question. Acid and alkali formation, and you have to write the difference between them. Okay, ये differentiate का question था. So for acids, you will say that when you are putting it in water, the acids are dissociating to form hydronium ions along with the anions. On the other hand, the alkalis, when put into water, they will be forming hydroxide ions along with one cation. Next, when we move towards right balanced chemical equation for the preparation of salt by using neutralization, precipitation, titration. Copper sulfate. Neutralization you have to use, so you have to take an acid or a base, like acid and base. For the basic part, you can either take copper hydroxide or you can even take copper oxide and use sulfuric acid because it is sulfate. So koi aur acid you cannot choose. Zinc carbonate via precipitation. So you are taking zinc sulfate and sodium nitrate, you're getting your zinc carbonate and you're getting sodium sulfate. Ammonium sulfate titration means you have to use acid and base, okay, because the indicators keep changing the color. So you're having ammonium hydroxide, sulfuric acid, you will be getting ammonium sulfate. Along with that, you will be getting water. Next is the questions of 2019. Sorry, yeah. The substance that releases hydronium ion as the only positive ion when dissolved in water. So this is going to be acid. Acid releases hydronium ion as the only positive ion. The tendency of an atom to attract electron towards itself when combined. ये हमने last class में discuss किया है about electronegativity. This one. The bond in which the electrons are shared equally by the combining atom. Can I write only covalent? It's better you write non-polar covalent because it's told shared equally. When it was polar covalent, then even though it was covalent, it was not sharing equally. So यहाँ पे you will write non-polar covalent compound. Next question is, draw the electron dot structure, dip side, which means your CBSE word. Hi, Vaibhav. So draw the electron dot structure of nitrogen. By the way, nitrogen NaCl you have in your syllabus, but baki sara ye ICSE hai. So nitrogen molecule you will be drawing in this way, 3 electrons from each side and then for lone pairs on the other. Sodium chloride, when you're drawing the electron dot structure, sodium 1, chlorine 7. You can draw same or different representation for the electrons. That is totally up to you. Transfer of electron carries 1 marks. And then you will be getting sodium ion and chloride. For chloride, make sure you represent the 8 electrons within the square bracket. Next is ammonium ion. We have discussed thrice today, but still for ammonium, nitrogen. Why am I drawing like this? Yeah, for ammonium, make one thing very sure that you are trying to use difference in the electrons because you will have another hydrogen which will not bring anything for the participation. And then over here, you will use a square bracket and put a positive sign above. Hi, Purnita. Next question is the pH value of the solutions are given over here 12, 2 and 7. Which solution will have no effect on litmus solution? So the one which is neutral, that is going to have no effect on litmus, and neutral means 7. Which solution will liberate carbon dioxide when reacted with sodium carbonate? So acids react with carbonates and bicarbonates to release CO2. So your answer will be B because a pH of 2 means acidic. Which solution will turn red litmus solution blue? Red litmus blue will be turned by a base, so the answer will be solution A. The next one is choose the method of preparation. Ferric chloride is like ICSE board loves to ask this question of ferric chloride, and the answer will be direct combination. Next is your lead chloride. Lead chloride will be going for precipitation. Iron sulfate you can form via displacement reactions. You can write substitution. Sodium nitrate you can form via neutralization. Sodium hydroxide and nitric acid. Now that we have discussed the specimen paper and also the year questions, We will now be moving towards the competency-based question. Competency-based questions again has been given by your board itself, and we'll start with these now. Which element forms a stable ion with the same electronic configuration as argon? So argon's electronic configuration is this, which means you need 3 shells. Magnesium ion will be forming 2,8, that is similar to neon. Fluorine again 2,8, the ions formed similar to neon. Chlorine on the other hand will be forming, this was chlorine, it will accept electron, and chloride will be having this configuration. So this is your answer. Sodium ion again is 2,8, that is similar to neon. Moving to next one, given below, you have 4 covalent compounds: water, CCl4, chlorine, and ammonia. Which of the following represents the correct order when arranged in increasing number of covalent bonds? Speaking about water, you have 2 covalent bonds. In CCl4, you are having 4 covalent bonds. All of these are single covalent bonds though. In chlorine, you have 1 covalent bond. In ammonia, you are having 3 covalent bonds. So you have to arrange in increasing order. So you have to start with chlorine, that is you have to start with C, and next comes water, that is A. So you got your answer as D. The next one is, remember as Vaibhav. Yes, I remember. Of course I do. I also remember that letter. I hope now you remember that incident. Okay, moving forward. So Ramu makes a detailed study on the values of electronegativity and formation of compound. Accordingly, he draws the following conclusion. The larger the electronegativity difference between the combining atoms, the more ionic bond will form. The electronegativity difference is negligible, covalent bond will be formed. Which of the following refers to covalent bond? So speaking about covalent bond, you need low difference in electronegativity. If you are combining P and Q, that will lead to the formation of ionic bond. Okay, so the answer is going to be P. When you're combining difference in electronegativities, then another one. Then I'll have to think. I think you're the same one. Next is the electronic configuration of X. You were in 9F, right? Electronic configurations of X is 2, 8, 6. It gains Y electrons in its valence shell. Look, when you look at this electronic configuration, in order to attain the configuration of argon, it is going to gain 2 electrons in the valence shell to attain the nearest noble gas configuration, and gets converted to ion Z. And this ion Z will be a negative one. You will get X2 minus, so it is going to be anion. So the element over here is going to be sulfur. It will take 2 electrons and become electronegative. Hi, Siddharth. Next is cations are oxidized or reduced due to what? So cations are formed by the oxidation, and that is due to the loss of electrons of the neutral ions. Magnesium ribbon is added to HCl, a gas liberated along with formation of compound. Draw the electron dot diagram to show the structure of the compound formed. So magnesium chloride structure you will have to show. Magnesium 2 electrons, chlorine was having 7 electrons. So 1 chlorine was not enough. You will be needing 2 chlorine atoms over here. Show the transfer of electrons, and then you will be getting Mg2 plus and 2 of chloride. Do not write the 2 underneath the square bracket. The 2 you will write beside the square bracket. 3 Vaibhav. In our class, we had only 1. Calcium hydroxide dissolves in water. Now I'm thinking 3 Vaibhav. Okay. Calcium hydroxide dissolves in water and forms positive ion and negative ion. Draw the structure of the negative ion. This is very important. This question of competency 1 is important for you people. You have to draw the structure of hydroxide over here. Hydroxide separately drawing, it has not been a part of your questions a lot. But for you people, the competency based set is having it. So you will have to draw hydroxide. When you draw the hydroxide ion, you will not put a bond over there like it is done in this case. When you have to draw this, you will be drawing oxygen. This is how you will draw, and you will put a negative sign above. This will be your hydroxide. Whole class 8. Okay, class 8 Vaibhav, yes. Got it. So when we speak about this molecule, the equation above represents the molecule formation of element X. Fill in the box with the electron dot structure. So when we speak about this molecule, there are 5 electrons in the last shell. So it is similar to that of nitrogen. You will be drawing this structure. Covalent bonds over here and 2 electrons over here. Okay, now since you people are present over here, I'll very happily like to say one thing, which is the truth. I do miss going to DPS a lot now. Next is the pH of soil is tested, and for the better growth of crops, slightly alkaline soil is required, which ion in the fertilizer will increase the alkalinity. Speaking about the alkaline one as in the basic one, so hydroxide ions are the ones which will be the answer. Hydroxide is also called as hydroxyl, so this will be your answer. Next question. Which of the following observation correctly shows the action of indicator on sodium hydroxide? Sodium hydroxide is a basic substance. Methyl orange, orange to yellow is fine. Remains colorless is wrong. It should turn pink. Q, orange to pink, it is wrong because orange to pink is for acids, even though it should be red, but orange to pink for acids. I too do so, Vaibhav. Remains colorless is next is moving towards orange to yellow is fine, colorless to pink is fine. So CR is going to be your answer. Acidic, you have to match the following over here. Acidic oxide are the ones which are non-metallic oxides, so 2 will be the answer. Basic oxides are the metallic oxides, so 5 will be the answer. Amphoteric ones will react with both acids and bases, so 1. This is basically the definitions written on the right hand side. Neutral one will not react with any. So your answer will be 3 over here. And the next one, aluminium oxide, will be amphoteric. So 4 will be the answer. Moving to the next one. Some general rules for the solubility of salt in water are listed. Carbonates are insoluble except ammonium carbonate, potassium carbonates. All the salts which you have in your syllabus, the preparation methods have been given. You have to, which substance produces an insoluble salt when an aqueous solution of them are mixed? Copper nitrate, magnesium chloride. Look, what would be formed? Copper chloride, magnesium nitrate, but magnesium nitrate is soluble, so it's all soluble. Don't you think that silver and this zinc chloride, this combination will be forming silver chloride, and silver chloride will be insoluble? So this is going to be your answer because it's written to you that chlorides, silver chloride was insoluble. So you basically had to read above and you had to find all the combinations of the salt and see which one is falling into that insoluble zone. Next question is, an element X combines with oxygen to form oxide X2O3. So whenever you look at this oxide X2O3, somehow aluminium or valency 3 starts playing in your mind. The oxide is good conductor of electricity and can be reduced to its metal by electrolysis. If you remember, for aluminium in metallurgy, we will see the process. Write the equation for the reaction formed when the oxide X combines with hydrochloric acid. Even though you're thinking about aluminium, yes, Nilesh. Hi, Mayank. Yes, Nilesh, ask. By the way, CBSE wala class Sunday hoga. But whatever you, if suppose you have any doubt in your exam, you can even mail. In 11, how should I study chemistry? ICSE my seniors are also 11 ka chemistry will be even like 4 times more than what you have in grade 10. So, पहले board exam khatam kar lo, फिर we'll speak about that. We'll study that as well. From next year, I'll start teaching that as well. Don't worry, don't be puzzled in chemistry. So when we speak about this one, aluminium oxide as in Al2O3 would have reacted with HCl to form AlCl3 along with H2O. But you will write the same reaction in respect of X and not aluminium. This is a common example for ICSE. I mean, common mistake. You people go and you predict the element और तब गलत हो जाता है. Because what you have to write is X2O3 reacting with HCl forming XCl3 along with H2O. In order to balance, since it's 2 over here, you will put 2 here. For HCl, you will put 6 and here will be 3. So this is what you will write as your answer and not the one which is written above. Next is, how many valence electrons are present in the outermost shell of X? As you can look into the formula, when you just cross this opposite of cross multiplication, 3 is the valency and it's a metal. So the valence electrons will be 3. Will element X undergo oxidation or reduction? Your answer will be oxidation because this element is going to lose 3 electrons and form a positive ion. Here is the last question. A student prepared a potassium sulfite solution in the lab and added a few drops of barium nitrate solution to it. So a student was having potassium sulfite and barium nitrate has been added. So you are getting barium sulfate over there. He observed a white precipitate being formed in the test tube. So that white precipitate will be for barium sulfate. Next is मैम कार्बन कंपाउंड्स वन शॉट कंसेप्ट एंड क्वेश्चन. कार्बन कंपाउंड्स का वन शॉट तो है नीलेश, एक बार तुम लाइव क्लासेस चेक करो, यू विल फाइंड एंटायर चैप्टर ओवर देयर. और केमिकल इक्वेशंस का फुल सारे सिलेबस का केमिकल इक्वेशंस का वन शॉट भी है. check the live class. Next is he observed a white test tube, barium sulfate हो गया, and then on addition of dilute hydrochloric acid, the white precipitate are mixed. The white precipitate and mixing it, he observed disappeared. Now, आपके book में when you speak about the reactions, you don't have the reaction with barium sulfite. By the way, this is going to be SO3, not SO4. But with calcium sulfite and bisulfite, you have the reaction. So this is the reaction which is there in your book or in your syllabus. And when you have to write the equation, you will just convert it to barium. So this is what will be the answer. You will be getting barium chloride, which is soluble in water. Along with water, you will be getting SO2. Next is name the gas evolved in the above reaction. So the gas evolved is going to be sulfur dioxide. So overall, we have completed the competency based questions, specimen paper, and we have also completed the your questions of 5 years. After you have discussed everything, you can now understand that what is important for you. Drawing these electron dot structures you are getting in your year exams. Properties of ionic compound is a common choice for the board. Speaking about these, nitrogen you have been asked often, ammonia has been asked, water has been asked to draw, and even carbon tetrachloride. Speaking about the coordinate compounds, speaking about the polar covalent compounds, you get questions based on electronegativity from here. When we speak about the coordinate ones, ammonium is very important for you. High chances are there. And hydroxide was not often asked, but it was there for your competency question. From acid, base, and salt, what's very important is phenolphthalein and methyl orange. And also the reaction of sulfite and bisulfite, carbonate, bicarbonate, these are important choices. Acid rain, not very important. From pH, yes, the pH range you should know. And the importance of these definitions and examples you got to know from the overall discussion itself. Preparation of salt, ferric chloride is very important for your year. And when we speak about the insoluble ones, then from insoluble ones, the barium ones are important. So we have completed the entire revision and important questions and past 5 years as well. Thank you so much, all of you. Ma'am, सभी देखा, but still in core mind doubt है. Chapter in lead in PT2 I got out of 80, not well. Yeah, sure. Agar PT2 mein you are getting approaching barely 11 marks ka less, then you have high chances of scoring full marks, so don't worry. And we will be discussing all the important topics and other things as well. So thank you so much, all of you. Take care. And this is all for ICSE. This was all done. Chalo, take care. We'll discuss the other chapters of ICSE tomorrow and in the upcoming days as well. How is it ICSE different from CBSE? This is ICSE का syllabus. You don't have coordinate bond and many things over there. अभी तो शुरुआत है ICSE का. अभी तो mole concept आएगा. You will be having many like electrolysis जो नहीं है CBSE में. So many things are there. Yes, I will be definitely coming. I'm coming in June end or July in India. By the way, this time also when I went to India, I did go to DPS. But abhi June, July mein also when I'll come, definitely I'll visit DPS for sure. Chalo, thank you so much all of you. Take care. Have a great day ahead. Enjoy. Study well. Thank you. Bye.